Aloha. I wanted to share something that I'm starting to look into more now, um, because it was a trend that hit that tipping point for me, at least, to see it being hit from different angles. So it's like vector points that meet up, and if you hit like three different vectors, if three different lines cross a certain subject or topic or something by three different individuals or streams of thought, then you can locate some kind of location or trend. So, like a shooting an azimuth or something. So, to find your location, or back azimuth to find your location. So, this back azimuth that I have that kicked over for me recently, because Hollywood was the last vector point that kicked over, was this simulation theory thing. And basically, I've been speaking a lot about how quantum physics is going to sell in this new version of your reality. Quantum physics is going to sell this artificial version of God, and that, this is a platform for you to, you know, be living here for whatever reason, like a video game, and basically utilize the whole technological merging with quantum understandings of our reality to merge in this new religion, this new age order, this new theory of experiencing your reality, whether they completely remove God and say it's all a simulation, or they say that for some people who need that God space, which is what I really think they're going to do, is say that, God created this simulation and worship this God. And it's even referenced and joked by Brian Greene in one of these videos, where he says, what if this is all a simulation, a computer simulation, and there's like this teenager who created this, and we're just living in this simulation, and we have to worship him. And he's talking to Richard Dawkins, and Richard Dawkins says, well, I'm not going to worship him. So they have to throw these different versions of how you should think and how you're going to think. Just like when Colbert speaks to Brian Greene or anybody on his show, he acts as if that he acts like the inner voice in your head. Like he answers and asks and answers questions and responds in ways that are designed to have you thinking you should think this way. Because not everybody who would have that show would be asking and answering questions the way Colbert does. And this is the design of television as a whole, the conditioned mindset as a whole, to make you think and act a certain way so you can just go about your business every day. It is not entertainment. It is conditioning at its essence, at its core. You are being manipulated to think, act, react, and experience your reality in certain ways. This is what the university system is as a whole. This is why we've been conditioned to separate ourselves from nature and connect ourselves to an artificial version of our reality. We're calling it the monkey evolution and all this stuff. So if they do move into some kind of orchestrated version of experiencing our reality, it's looking more like excuse me, it's looking more like it's going to be this simulation theory. What kicked me over to it was, and I'll show you the vector points that started for today. They existed in the air or in the ethers beforehand, but they didn't connect until today, because starting off with, here's your today's trending, your news, your basic news, all your bullshit, that they just layer over. Matt Damon speaking at MIT, so he's speaking to technological graduates. And of course, he's talking about Bernie Sanders type of mentalities when he's speaking against the bankers. He's speaking against all this stuff that's supposed to make you believe in the system and believe in Hollywood and believe in all that. Those individuals who are placed out there to look like they're important. Matt Damon is one of them. Leonardo DiCaprio is another one of them. Rosario Dawson is another one. They want you to think on a certain level of consciousness and follow a certain pattern of evolution and thought process. And him speaking at MIT, so I knew he was going to speak at some kind of technological thing, and he went as far as asking his most important thing in this speech he mentioned was simulation theory. So he starts talking about, what if this is all a virtual reality and we're living in a virtual reality? So this goes into the Google stuff and the Microsoft stuff with the virtual reality, holographic reality shit that they're putting out there. He goes on about that. That's his main thing when he's speaking to them. That's one day ago. So, of course, I already, a couple of days ago, I heard a story about Elon Musk saying that we could all be living in a simulation. We could all be living in a virtual reality. So Elon Musk represents the new NASA, the new stream of thought. So you got Hollywood, you got the new NASA, and he even goes in and start talking about the video I just watched, which is that 13-minute and 47-second one. Elon Musk speaks about simulation theory. He even starts talking about money and how the new money system, he says basically money is just a number punched in. So this can go into their whole like new version of the monetary system. It's just a control grid that they're trying to manipulate to maintain their existence as a superpower. And they need all of these superheroes like Elon Musk, Matt Damon, Neil deGrasse Tyson, Brian Greene, who's on the Colbert Report. If he wasn't on the Colbert Late Show, then most people wouldn't even know who the fuck he is, because this is how they make these superheroes for you. So they got Neil deGrasse Tyson, who's talking about, this is all linked into string theory and quantum physics and how to experience our quantum reality. So this is how they're going to evolve their university system, by creating another way to experience your universe. So they're going to link in string theory with which is already linked in with quantum physics, into the simulation theory, and maintain this technological space to make the transhumanistic version of interacting with your reality more credible. So if we live in a virtual reality and you see virtual reality glasses that you just put on your head, then what's the super scientific version of experiencing with your natural reality that we now understand as a virtual reality? Because everything is just virtual reality. This is a computer simulation. This was the whole Matrix seeding program of in 1999 with Keanu Reeves and all this stuff. So this is where everything is moving towards, and you can see their superheroes. You got in their superpowers. They got Joe Rogan, Neil deGrasse Tyson, Brian Greene, Michio Kaku. Bill Nye's probably talking some shit on here too. Basically, they're making the Matrix go mainstream. Elon Musk, another superhero, sending fake rockets into fake space. And they just talk on these places, talking about Tesla, SpaceX. They talk about all this stuff. This is all to get you to believe that they are the all-knowing, superhuman, superpower people. And they just speak on this stuff in your face, like with their their giant egos of excuse me, of a university system credibility. Basically, like when you go to a college that's not that doesn't have any credentials with it. What is that word? Um, anyway, when you don't go to a college that's not, um, when you go to like a college that's just made up, I can't think of the word right now, but um, basically the entire university system is that type of college, one that has actually no credibility because it's all based on bullshit. It's based on a limited version of experiencing our reality, and they want to they consistently sell you everything. So it's basically like a DeVry. The university system as a whole is like a DeVry university that they bulked up to make it seem like this is what your university is about, when there's an entire other way to experience your reality that the Egyptians were tapped into, that the Mayans were tapped into, that the ancient Inca were tapped into, that all the ancient indigenous civilizations were tapped into in some format on a natural, organic consciousness grid, not this virtual reality illusion that they're putting out there, because they're just saying it as like, because it's, they can't prove it, but they can't disprove it at the same time. And it also sells the idea of infinity. So they want to create a technological, a virtual experience simulation, and then this will tie in like dreams and consciousness as a whole, and we're not the body, and the body computer and all this stuff. They want to make it seem like this, so it can be all transhumanistic. This is the pre-game show. This simulation theory is the pre-game show to transhumanism. And the pre-game show to the pre-game show, the pre-game show, was to first separate you from nature. Separate you from nature, and then the mid pre-game show within that was to install your codependency to technology and the university system as a whole, and how you experience your reality. They create all of these theories and these illusions of intelligence and knowledge, and destroy all of the creative intelligence and the organic connections to experiencing your reality, your intuition, your claircognizance, your clairaudience, all of the things that are natural to your experience, like experiencing higher planes through psychedelics, which they'll probably factor that into as some sort of say, well, all that's just a simulation too, and they're going to sell in this new version of how you experience your reality, and they're going to use quantum physics and this simulation theory as their version of like what it is. And what was it, Brian Greene? This Brian Greene, he's speaking to Richard Dawkins in here. And Richard Dawkins speaks on, like, he comes from the reason perspective, reasonable, or reason perspective, and he basically says, well, I can't say that it doesn't exist like that. I can't say so. He's basically giving the okay. So they have all these different versions of smart people who give the okay on, what our next evolutionary step should be. But it's an evolutionary step within an illusion, based upon theories of illusion and separation from your most high creative intelligence. And the undertone of all this is to forget about all the shit that has happened as a result of the stuff like the supremacy program, the colonization of the entire earth plane, the sick and disease that is spreading on a regular basis to destroy people on purpose, the vaccines, the chemtrails, fluoridated water, all this stuff is part of the same individuals, these arrogant assholes that are sitting in front of your face like this guy, that are saying, oh, this is what our reality. These guys are directly related to the same individuals pumping out the vaccines. Where do you think they get all these studies from to make these vaccines that are poisoning people in Africa and all over the earth plane? All this information comes from, all the studies, all this stuff comes from the university system, which is also doing studies for the military and the government. It's all one big ass team that are making these things. So it's like to the good cop and bad cop, and it's all one left and right hand, but all on the same body of destruction and illusion. So they play the good cop and they play the bad cop, and then you experience their reality on television, in Hollywood, in the university system, on TED Talks, in the fake evolution theory, and all this stuff is intertwined, and this good cop bad cop game gets played. And then over time, these theories like simulation theory are slowly but surely played into your consciousness by motherfuckers like Matt Damon on speaking at MIT. Then they put his video on the trending to make you believe that shit's going the right way with Bernie Sanders and all that stuff. That's the subconscious tone that's being sent to us. Hermione fucking Granger at the United Nations talking about gender equality. Leonardo fucking DiCaprio speaking about the messenger of peace. Never going into the depths of these stories. This is a total selling program to sell you 10% of your reality and never go into the depths of understanding what has happened to the people here. They're just selling you shit. These are car salesmen. The entire earth plane has been taken over by used car salesmen. And this next used car that they're going to sell is an illusion of simulation theory, because they're going to have all of these so-called smart people who are going to say, well, we can't dispute it. We can't say it doesn't exist. So we'll just integrate it into this part of the reality we're calling string theory, quantum physics, and the simulated universe. Because who can dispute that? Nobody can. It's just another version of bullshit. So I just wanted to share this because this is another part of the scientific / religious New Age agenda, transhumanistic New Age religion that they're getting ready to sell. And this is one more step closer to their movement. So since this vector point of Matt Damon speaking at MIT crosses with Bernie Sanders talking about the bankers, and he's talking about simulation theory. Elon Musk a few days ago is also talking about simulation theory. Brian Greene is just on the Colbert Late Show recently talking about all kinds of other bullshit that he's been doing for the last however many years. He's talking about simulation theory. Neil deGrasse Tyson and all his bullshit and his punk ass vests and ties and all that bullshit talking about simulation theory. Going on Joe Rogan's fake ass shit talking about simulation theory. Those are some very definite vector points that have been crossed and recrossed that tap into the artificial reality, the illusions that are being pumped out by the university system, the New Age transhumanist movement, and all this stuff. So I just wanted to share that to get people seeing that, because I've never mentioned simulation theory on my channel before, and I wanted to mention it and just put it out there. So that's pretty much it. When I get some more information on how this locks into what the next steps of the orchestrated awakening or whatever they're trying to present next as the next version of our reality, then I'll share it in relation to this. But this is good enough for now. So thank you for joining me. Until next time, from all my relations, peace, love, and harmony.